Good evening. I hope this is not too dark like the last time. Got some lights on. Radical Jack here, day 14. Tried to do something earlier and tried to publish it about 5 times, and obviously it wasn't good enough. So I thought if it doesn't go up this time, I'm going to do a new one. Really enjoying doing this and not thinking about what I'm going to say or anything like that. It's quite an interesting thing that in itself. This is how I do my poetry. When I go on stage, I never know what I'm going to do, and it works for me. So I don't need I could have a thought about something and then it just leads to something, and I guess it's much more natural. So another 15 minutes, and I'm really enjoying the fire here. I cooked on this fire today. My gas was frozen. Couldn't it just doesn't come through. Either that or it's empty, coincidental, but it's very cold out there. We've got about a foot of snow. I made a brave attempt to get out of here this morning, and I made it to the end of the road, which is a couple of miles. Couldn't get up the hill, and then couldn't get back up the other hill back to the house, and there you go, my van's down the road stuck. I hope it's not in anybody's way, but it's I tried to tidy it up as best I could. So that's broken my my flow, man, in relation to the 88-day climb. Just gonna get that picture in there. Yeah, a beautiful picture that this gorgeous lady did. Anastasia, fire picture. So I obviously I didn't get to do the Ishnock or the Loch Crew climb today, so I'm snowed in. I mean, my landlady's just said to me, I remember back in the last big snowdown, I was stranded for 3 weeks, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be picking up my little girl on Friday, so that's a bit of a bummer if that happens. So hopefully it'll wash away in the next couple of days, but yeah, okay, it's a bit disappointing in a way, just breaking the kind of thread, of sunset, sunrise, and so on. I was enjoying it. So basically, what to do? The fast still goes on. That was the main intention. That's what it was all about. Those two things were additions. That's the way it is, So basically, we'll just mosey along, and see what happens, I mean, I don't know what it's like for you, but pretty. I mean, Cork has snow, hasn't been seen for like that for since 1948, So most of the country's covered. I don't believe it's as bad up north, But I got Xavier Rudd on, Spirit Bird, beautiful song. It's on a loop, goes on for 2 hours, and never get bored of it. Spirit Bird, Xavier Rudd, really powerful song, So I've been having a little bit of an emotional day today with background music, a few tears, and but I wrote a really nice piece today that just came through this morning. I put it up on Facebook if you want to see it. Just inspired, by the snow. So I had a bit of a mission to get back from the van to the house. I was just covered in snow as I made my way back. So like a blizzard out there, but it was invigorating, really nice, beautiful white blanket. I saw 3 white horses, and just beautiful. So blessed in many ways in the West to be able to have all these seasons, these weathers. It'd be nice though if we got a nice summer for a change, a good hot summer. I think we're due a good hot summer, So that's what I'm praying for, you know, every morning, every evening, you know, bringing up the sun, you know, keeping a good hot summer this year for us. I think we deserve it, especially in the British Isles. So yeah, food wise, yeah, I've added a little tablespoon of chia seeds to my quinoa, and still dealing with the kale, beans, quinoa, and I've added a little bit of ramson, wild ramson. If you're near a woods, you get a chance. It's wild garlic leaf, otherwise known as ramson, and it's beautiful, delicious. Tastes just like garlic, you know, and it's very green, so very cleansing for the liver and the kidneys. Some say, you know, for asthmatics that it's good to walk your children through the woods when it's in full flower, and the smell is just phenomenal. And you know, it's obviously good for the respiratory system, you know, and the lungs, you know. So it's interesting, you know, all the things that have come to me in relation to the lungs, and certainly I had a couple of horrible moments last year. One of them of which I had a massive massage at the Butterfield Festival by this big giant Nigerian man, beautiful man, huge hands like the size of my two hands together, you know, and boy, he gave me the best massage I've ever had, but I couldn't move for an hour afterwards. And I think the thing was I ended up having some chili, sauna, and that evening after hosting a poetry really good night in Pachamamas, you know, I hosted a bit of poetry, and it was just a special night, and I rewarded myself by having just a little roll up and a tiny little bit of weed in it, and stupid thing to do. I guess the massage man had released all these toxins into my body, into my liver or my kidneys, and a couple of days in after the sauna and the chili, my chest, I was completely dehydrated. If it wasn't for my friend Ange and her kinesiology, I thought I was a goner. I mean, my whole lungs, I couldn't breathe. You know, I thought, yeah, wow, I fucked up. I've done some real bad damage. You know, so thankfully I got out of that. You know, but just goes to show you, when you're on the cleanse and you're on the mend, it's extremely, you know, it's crazy for you to throw anything back in, you know. It's the interesting thing about stopping something, like especially sugar, you know. Something to note, you know, if you've not tried it before, and you're in a relationship or you're married, you have kids, children, guys, you know, on both sides, you know, you have to watch, you know, the person who's giving up sugar. You can feel very, very, very angsty, irritated. You know, I've seen people lose relationships. You know, I had a relationship, and I didn't even remember what it was at the time. I thought it was something else, but now that I notice, I'd stopped sugar, and things were a little bit tetchy. But so yeah, you know, you can lose a relationship in the process. You can feel suicidal and depressed, and you know, you're letting go of something that's been part of your life for such a long time. You know, think about all those sweets and biscuits and just Coca-Cola, all those things that you've been thrown into you. And so the interesting thing is, when you stop, you'll go through some serious withdrawals, and not to mention, if you do get a week or a period like 3, 4, 6 weeks, and then you throw it back into you, it can really dangerous, you know, really set you back and really mess you up, and actually pull you straight back in again, because it's highly addictive. There's no doubt about it. And people that say they don't have a problem with it, it's like it's because they don't know any different. They've never really stopped it. And, you know, you're just on this elevation, you know, of this is the way things always have been, and you'll find out pretty soon, having left it alone for periods of time, or trying to have these small periods, the eventual hope that you'll stop it. You'll see, you know, that a lot of the things that you used to you wonder, why am I so moody, or why is this, you know, bum. It's all to do with your sugar levels, you know. So some people say that There's a doctor out there who won a Nobel Prize for his work in medicine. Can't recall his name right now, but he says cancer can survive in an alkaline-based body. So we're dealing with when it comes to sugar, acid. And it's well worth looking at the scales of the pH balance. Just put pH balance, acid and alkaline. Those are the key words, and check it out for yourself. You can get alkaline in foods, and you can things like miso, sesame, tahini. There's loads of alkaline green foods. Most of it is, and then you can get alkaline water. One of the best waters, if you have to buy it out there, is undoubtedly like Evian. Volvic. It's not so bad, but Evian is king, and you can even get cheap water in supermarkets. I believe there was one in Lidl's. Somebody had done a test on the water, and it was high alkaline. So obviously the best thing is to get it from the spring, get it from the well, a known well where it's regularly tested. That's the best way. Water is key. Some people are banging into the distilled water. This is definitely worth looking into too. Also, So these are some things that just come into mind right now. Most definitely, even bread. When you think about bread and how it's baked, it's guaranteed that it's baked with tap water. And you see, you don't really notice these things until you start to clear yourself out, and then you begin to taste the chlorines, the metals, the fluorides, all this kind of stuff. It will come out as you become more sensitive. So baking your own bread is the only way, and getting flours like spelt, making sourdough, rye, original grains. Buckwheat's a beautiful flour. You can make pancakes out of that. It's quite amazing. So there's a wealth of knowledge out there, and it's just making that change. It's difficult at start, trying to introduce the new recipes and the new diet and this kind of new way of replacing this meal with more nutritious and better foods, more organic and more less pesticides, fungicides and chemical sprays and all that kind of stuff, So it doesn't matter, any cheap bread that you buy or any bread in a supermarket that's even if it's organic, the majority of it is it's going to have things in it, that just crikey, if you look at some of the bread and the list of the things that's in there, it's just unreal, Or when you're attempting to buy that reduced cake or donuts or these little tiny little whatever, these little boxes of bits of whatever, chocolate filled tiny croissants, whatever, all those kind of things that are sitting right in front of your face and you let go, brutal to your system, really brutal. And it just doesn't take much in reality to fix some kind of flapjack or brownie. You can make a brownie out of beans, man, and it still tastes as good. I had a cheesecake that's entirely vegan and phenomenal. It tastes better than the actual cheesecake. It's just, and sugar free as well. So those recipes are out there, we got no excuses, I hope you're enjoying some of this information. And as I said before, these are just little key words, that hopefully inspirations that you can go further and deeper. It's a slow process, there's no doubt about it, but this is it. We need to slow down, take our time with this slow food, and you'll be better for it in the long run, 15 minutes up again. Blessed be people. Love you.